Why one-off projects are bad. The pitfalls of one-off projects. One-off projects might seem, one second. Hold on. Where'd it go? Okay. Why one-off projects are bad. The pitfalls of one-off projects. So one-off projects might seem lucrative at first glance, but they come with their own set of challenges. They often lead to unpredictable workloads, making it difficult to plan resources and manage cash flow. Additionally, constantly chasing new projects can be exhausting and detract from business long-term client relationships. Without recurring business, sustainable growth becomes a constant struggle. Okay, great. Nothing wrong with that, right? It makes sense. Now, why one-off projects are great? The freedom of one-off projects. One-off projects offer unparalleled freedom and flexibility. They allow you to explore diverse industries and work with a variety of clients, keeping your work fresh and exciting. These projects can also be a great way to fill gaps between larger recurring projects, ensuring a steady stream of income. Embrace the diversity and opportunities that one-off projects can bring to the table. So both of these can give reasons to why one-off projects can be great and one-off projects can be bad. So what is right and what is wrong? Well, if I go outside in shorts and a t-shirt in subarctic weather, it's not great, not a great decision, right? But does that mean shorts and a t-shirt are bad and wrong? No, they're just wrong in this situation. And so what I see is there's people maybe in the wedding industry and they really love weddings and they like shooting weddings. And then somebody comes along who hates weddings on the internet and starts pounding people with all the reasons why wedding sucks. They're one-off projects. They're not scalable. They're not leverageable. They're not recurring. You got to find, all these new people. It's like, yeah, but with weddings, like you might only maybe work with a couple once, but the reality is, as with other things I said in this in this series here, you get referrals to get more business. There's always people getting married. And so, yes, there's some effort to selling a new project, but when you really get a business going, and I've filmed over 300 weddings in my career, and I reached a point where really just showing up and continuing to do the work was creating more work and more opportunities. People liked me. I did great work. I did something called a same-day edit, which was great for marketing. But the reality is there was nothing wrong. I shot my last wedding in 2014. The reality is if I hadn't stopped, I really believe that I would have been able to continue to do 30, 40, 45 weddings a year if I wanted, or whatever amount I wanted. It's somewhere between $3,500 and maybe $5,000 for all of eternity if I wanted to. And that would have been recurring revenue. In fact, now granted, I have not gone down certain paths, but some of my most stability was when I did weddings, and I know that I'm going into this year, I'm going to make $80,000. Right? Whereas something to keep in mind as well, which we'll tie in here in a second with recurring revenue, is that with the recurring revenue, people assume that people stay forever and you never need to sign a new client. A lot of these things make you believe, oh, if you just got 5 clients at $5,000 a month, you'd be at $25,000 a month, right? Assuming that it won't be that challenging to get 5 clients and that those 5 clients are going to pay you indefinitely. Because what people want is freedom and flexibility. So at times when we sell certain methods in certain ways, we shine all the spotlight on it. We show all the great things about it. And as a byproduct, we forget the nuance. Again, there's nuance in all these things. It's not black and white. You've got the way I help a lot of my clients is to develop more flexible thinking, because the more rigid we are, even in creating this content, I've created content many times and I've given up. I don't know what you've ever started, whether it's marketing, working out, starting a business, and you stopped and started and stopped and started. For me, what I've found is the more rigid I am in my thinking versus flexible, the more rules I have, the more it's this or that or either or, then the more I struggle. Because as humans, we're not robotic. We're not like black and white, this or that, either or. We can do a lot of different things. And I always say it's not one size fits all, but what size fits you. So we've got to see what works for you. And before you blow your business to the ground because somebody said that doing weddings is a bad thing because they're not scalable, leverageable, and they're one-off projects, maybe come from the place of, do you really love weddings? Because if you do, then worrying about the one-off projects, the recurring revenue of it, and the referrals, like all these things that I'm going through with this series, is that you might just be just fine. But the problem is a lot of us lack self-esteem and self-worth. And that's what I found. When I listen to the gurus or other people that say this is wrong and this is right, what I find is that I have doubts in what I'm doing. I don't believe as much in what I'm doing. And this person seems to be certain. And we're all on some level searching for certainty. And so as a byproduct, when we see somebody online that's very certain, we'll listen to that person versus trusting ourselves. And so what I'm trying to do with the content that I put out and the coaching that I do with people is I want to help people develop, again, the flexible thinking, see the nuances, see the different ways of viewing things, and recognize whether or not what you're hearing from somebody else really needs to be applied to you, or whether or not you need to potentially ignore it.